Setelah sekian lama, akhirnya saya baru sadar kalau Zakir Naik ternyata ada benarnya juga. Mari kita iris tipis-tipis. Harap dicatat, Isa dianggap sama dengan Yesus oleh Zakir Naik. Poin pertama, Zakir Naik tidak mendukung teori bahwa ada yang menggantikan Yesus ketika penyaliban. Kaget ya? Sama, saya juga. Saya coba cari video tentang pembahasannya, tapi tidak ada. Zakir Naik tidak membahas siapakah yang menggantikan Yesus disalib. Setiap muncul pertanyaan tersebut, dia tidak peduli dengan detail penyalibannya. Lalu dia melanjutkan pembahasannya.
And who was put in replacement of him?
You asked him who was put in his place, I don't know. I know there are stories, Judas was put, this was put, Gospel of Barnabas. Quran says he was not killed, he was not crucified, for me it is sufficient. Who was put in his place, whether someone was put, I'm least bothered. How it happened, there are many hypotheses. Maybe somebody was replaced in his place, or maybe we are least bothered.
Jelas ya, Zakir Naik tidak mau bahas siapa yang menggantikan Yesus disalib. Memang dia ngomong, saya tidak tahu. Tapi sebenarnya, dia menolak kalau ada yang menggantikan Yesus disalib. Nah, sekarang poin kedua. Poin yang sangat penting, yaitu kita harus pahami istilah yang digunakan oleh Zakir Naik. Karena istilah yang beliau pakai memiliki arti yang berbeda dengan pemahaman orang-orang pada umumnya. Coba lihat gambar ini. Gambar apakah ini? Secara umum, kita mengatakan kalau ini gambar seseorang yang disalib. Tapi bagi Zakir Naik, belum tentu ini gambar seseorang yang disalib. Karena menurut Zakir Naik, penyaliban atau crucifixion itu sudah bisa disebut demikian hanya jika orang tersebut mati.
Crucifixion means a person should die on the cross. If you read the dictionary, crucifixion, C-R-U-C-I-F-I-X-I-O-N, means to fix a person on the cross and he dies on the cross.
Digantung di salib dan mati di salib. Jelas ya? Ini bukan cocok logi ya. Karena Zakir Naik sangat konsisten di berbagai ceramahnya mengenai hal ini. Dia bahkan membuat sebuah kata yang baru untuk peristiwa seseorang digantung di salib tapi tidak mati.
So we don't have an English term for a person who's put on the cross but does not die. So the new word that we can coin is crucifixion. F-I-C-T-I-O-N, fiction, not fiction, not F-I-X-I-O-N. There is no word in the dictionary which says if you put a person on the cross and he does not die, what is it called? So new word we have to coin is crucifixion. C-R-U-C-I-F-I-C-T-I-O-N. It's a fiction, it's a story. He's put on the cross but does not die.
Kenapa dia jadi milih kata fiksi pada sesuatu yang dia percayai? Ya sudah, mari kita lewatkan yang ini ya. Anggap saja karena dia ini dokter medis, bukan ahli bahasa. Dan juga tidak sedang membahas substansi ajaran kitab suci. Jadi kita skip ya. Nah, karena kita sudah tahu istilah yang dipakai oleh Zakir Naik, crucifixion artinya seseorang yang digantung dan harus mati di salib. Karena kalau tidak mati, namanya crucifixion. Maka kita masuk ke poin ketiga. Bagaimana Zakir Naik menginterpretasikan ayat di Quran? Kita cek videonya ya. Dan coba sekarang apakah Anda menjadi lebih mengerti ajaran Zakir Naik?
So according to the Quran, Surah Nisa chapter 4 verse 157, Jesus Christ, peace be upon him, was not crucified, he was not killed, it was made to appear so. And even the Quran says he was not killed, he was not crucified, he is raised up alive. The Quran says in Surah Nisa chapter 4 157, they killed him not, neither did they crucify him, it was only made to appear so.
Nah, kira-kira gimana? Jelas ya? Paham ya? Zakir Naik mengatakan, hanya dibuat kelihatannya seperti demikian. dibuat kelihatan seakan-akan Yesus disalib. Tidak disinggung tentang ganti pemain ya. Kalau kita kembangkan dengan istilah crucifixion-nya Zakir Naik ini, maka kira-kira ajarannya menjadi seperti ini. Yesus digantung di salib, tetapi tidak mati. Hanya dibuat kelihatannya seakan-akan Yesus mati di salib. Jadi Zakir Naik percaya, 1. Benar ada peristiwa penyaliban. 2. Benar Yesus yang digantung di salib, bukan digantikan oleh orang lain. 3. Tetapi Yesus tidak mati ketika digantung di salib. 4. Hanya kelihatannya saja dia mati, padahal tidak mati. Kalau Anda bilang, saya masih juga cocok logi, kita lihat pembahasan Zakir Naik lebih lanjut, di mana dia selalu mengutip Matius pasal 12 ayat 40. Inilah poin keempat, tanda Yunus.
If he has to fulfill the sign of Jonah, that as Jonah was 3 days and 3 nights in the belly of the fish, so shall the Son of Man be 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of the earth. No sign shall be given except the sign of Jonah. For as Jonah was 3 days and 3 nights in the belly of the whale, so shall the Son of Man be 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of the earth.
Di sini Zakir Naik mengutip tanda Yunus. Yunus 3 hari 3 malam dalam perut ikan. Maka Yesus juga harus 3 hari 3 malam dalam perut bumi. Selanjutnya Zakir Naik mengatakan,
I'm asking you the question, when Jesus Christ, peace be upon him, according to the Bible, when he was taken down from the cross, he was put in the grave, in the sepulchre. In the sepulchre, was Jesus dead or alive? In the sepulchre, in the grave, was he dead or alive?
Jadi jelas ya, Zakir Naik mengambil tanda Yunus agar dapat menguatkan ajarannya bahwa benar Yesus pernah dimakamkan. Pertanyaan selanjutnya, apakah saat berada di dalam makamnya, Yesus hidup atau mati? Dan jelas menurut Zakir Naik, Yesus masih hidup.
If Jonah was alive, for Jesus Christ to fulfill the prophecy, peace be upon him, he should be dead or alive? Dead or alive he should be?
He should be alive.
He should be alive, and he was alive. Alive, 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 alive. Miracle of a miracle of a miracle of a miracle.
Oke, sampai di titik ini biasanya naluri apologis Kristen langsung terpicu. Yesus mati kok disalib, dan setelah itu dia dimakamkan. Nah, di sini saya mengajak teman-teman untuk menahan diri dulu. Mari kita pikirkan kemungkinan yang ada. Kita mulai dari menjawab pertanyaan ini. Tuhan kok mati? Apa jawabannya? Nah, respon umum yang dijawab oleh orang Kristen adalah, yang mati itu hanya tubuh manusianya, tetapi Yesus secara keilahiannya tidak mati. Jadi kalau digabungkan dengan ajaran Zakir Naik, berarti ketika Yesus dimakamkan, dia memang tetap hidup secara ilahi. Makanya Zakir Naik mengatakan, Yesus tidak disalibkan. Ingat, karena menurutnya, disalibkan berarti orangnya harus mati ya. Yesus tidak disalibkan, tapi hanya kelihatannya seolah-olah demikian. Seolah-olah Yesus mati disalibkan, padahal Yesus tidak pernah mati secara keilahiannya. Jasad manusia Yesus memang dimakamkan, tetapi secara keilahian Yesus tetap tidak mati. Gimana? Paham ya? Saya rangkumkan sekali lagi deh untuk Anda. 1. Yesus benar digantung di salib. Tidak ada orang yang menggantikannya. 2. Saya sebut digantung di salib karena menurut Zakir Naik, kalau pakai istilah disalibkan berarti orangnya harus mati dulu. 3. Pada kenyataannya, Yesus tidak mati, maka kita tidak bisa gunakan istilah dia disalibkan karena tidak mati. Keempat, ketika kemanusiaan Yesus dimakamkan, Yesus masih hidup secara keilahiannya. Oke? Nah, sekarang tonton ulang videonya dengan pemahaman 4 poin ini. Silakan.
For the Muslims, Quran says he was not killed, he was not crucified. we are satisfied. It was made to appear so. How it happened? There are many hypotheses. Maybe somebody was replaced in his place, or maybe we are least bothered. Quran says he was not killed, he was not crucified, we are satisfied, we are not bothered to know the details. In the Gospel of Matthew chapter number 12, verse number 38, he says, and he gives a prophecy, that as Jonah was, so shall the Son of Man be. If Jonah was alive, he has to be alive. So what I assume in my reading as a student, after doing research, I don't believe Jesus Christ, peace be upon him, lied. So to fulfill his prophecy, I have to believe he was alive. He was put on the cross, but he did not die. If you read the dictionary, crucifixion, C-R-U-C-I-F-I-X-I-O-N, means to fix a person on the cross, and he dies on the cross. There is no word in the dictionary which says if you put a person on the cross and he does not die, what is it called? So new word we have to coin is crucifixion. C-R-U-C-I-F-I-C-T-I-O-N. It's a fiction, it's a story. He's put on the cross but does not die. So therefore I believe that if I agree with the Bible, it is correct, and Jesus did not tell a lie, peace be upon him. It was a crucifixion. F-I-C-T-I-O-N. It was not fiction, F-I-X-I-O-N. Hope that answers the question, sister.
Oke, mengerti ya keempat poin tadi? Benar bukan? Jika Anda masih ragu, saya kasih bonus lagi deh. Ternyata bukan hanya Zakir Naik, tetapi Syekh Imran Hussein juga memiliki pemahaman yang sama. Mari kita cek videonya.
Let me warn you. And my language is sometimes very harsh, because that's the only language some people can understand. Don't come with this nonsense, because it is not only pathetic nonsense, it is absolutely sinful to say that Allah, wa na'udhu billah min hadha, Allah calls someone else to take the appearance of Nabi Isa alayhi salam, and that innocent man, innocent because he never claimed to be the Messiah, he was crucified. Wait for judgment day with that nonsense. Pathetic nonsense. It's not there in the Quran, it's in your imagination. That's why it is. And yet it took the world of Islam by storm. What a brainwash ummah we are today. Well, then what happened? Well, then why don't you go to the Quran? Let the Quran explain rather than go on fancy flights of imagination. You're going to tell Allah on Judgment Day, you caused that man to assume the appearance of someone? And he who never claimed to be the Messiah, he was crucified. That is an act of injustice. You attributing injustice to Allah? What foolishness. But where are the scholars who will correct this foolishness? That's why I have to be so forceful in my language. Allah took his soul. They thought he was dead. They took down the body. They put the body in the cave. They sealed the cave. Allah returned the soul. As simple as that. Nobody knew that the soul was returned. And Allah raised him. But let me warn you one more time. If you stick with this theory of substitution, you are going to be in a pathetic state on Judgment Day.
Tuhan Yesus memberkatimu.
Thank you.